Hello and welcome back, my friend. Hello to you if this is your first time. In today's project, we're using scrap pieces of plywood to make a beautiful and unique product. We'll start by ripping all the boards down to 5-inch wide boards, and then we'll move to the miter saw for the next set of cuts. I want to quickly mention that I usually include timestamps of the video in the description, so if that's something you're interested in and you want to go to a specific part of the video, you can just use that. Thank you. I ripped as many of the boards as I could find, but here's a suggested material that you could use. Now I'm going to cut the boards at a width of 5 inches, so we'll end up with a 5x5 board essentially. And I'll need a total of 7 pieces cut at 5 inches wide. And on one of the pieces that I'll be discarding, I just ripped off 2.5 inches, and then off camera I did rip additional cuts at about 1/4 inches wide boards at that same 2.5 inches length. That will be used for an optional part of the build that you will see later on in the video. Next, I made another miter cut for the base, which is 12 inches long. Now I'm just marking out where the dado will be made on the base. So I'm starting off from 1/2 inch from the end, and then I'll mark the 1/4 inch dado that will be cut using the table saw. At this point, I want to quickly remind you that all you need is a little bit of faith and some action. So I'll have the blade height set to 3/8 of an inch, and then from the fence to the blade will be 1/2 inch, and that's where I'll make the first cut for the dado, and then I'll move in and make the cut for the other end at the 3/4 inch from that point. And next I'll prepare for the lamp socket, which I need to make openings on 2 of the boards so that it will sit inside the boards instead of on the surface. So first I'm doing the profile of the base, and then I'll cut that out with a jigsaw, and then for the top part, the round part, which is it has a diameter of 1.5 inches, I'll use a Forstner bit to make the cut, and then I will widen that cut using a drum sander. So as you saw at the start of the video, I'm going with a cordless option, but you can actually wire this. It should be easy to just make a channel through the lamp holder base, but I thought I'll make it simple and just use the cordless method. I'll put links in the description for the products that I used. Next, I'll just dry fit all the parts to make sure everything fits properly. Now I'm assembling the lamp socket holder, and you will see shortly I'll show you a different way that you can line up the boards that would add some uniqueness to it as well. Instead of just stacking them one on top of the other, you can stagger them, as you will see shortly. And so here's the look I was talking about. You can do it like this, like a crisscross, like a star arrangement. That's an option. But this one, I wanted it to be a block because I'm using it as a bookshelf, a book holder as well. And so I'll clamp those and let that dry, and whilst that's drying, I'll cut off the side of the book hold. So this will serve two purposes: for the books to lean on as well as a book page holder. And I'll just sand this block very well to make sure that I end up with a smooth sanding. Started off with the 40 grit there, and then I'll end up with 220 grit, I believe. 220 or 240 grit. And now it's time for the final assembly. As I mentioned earlier, there's an optional storage compartment for pencils and the remote that controls the light that I'm going to use magnets to attach them so that it's not permanent. You can remove it, or it is removable. And here's a look at the final product. As you can see, the additional storage is optional. It can be added or removed as necessary. You can hold up to 6 regular sized books or novels, and there is also the ability for you to use the one side of the book end as a page holder. So the light is controlled by a remote that you can use to change the colors or the brightness of the bulb. Well, that's it for this one, my friend. I hope you enjoyed watching this one and you're inspired to build one of it. As always, I hope you'll have a tangible experience of God's love today. Take care and God bless you, my friend. And if you like this video you just watched, you can check out one of these other videos showing up on your screen right now.